Hello everyone, it is Rachel O'Neill here again. I am so sorry it's been so long since I did my last video. I have been it's just been crazy getting ready for school. As most of you know, I'm a teacher, and so getting ready for this school year online, I'm sure you and all your kids are doing that too. So wishing all of you luck. So anyways, here we are back with our part 5 of our stage presence video series. Here we have just a couple today and then another video left. Today we're going to talk about clothing, and without sounding too materialistic, this is something that a topic that I happen to love. I do really love fashion and clothes, and it's just a way that I express myself, and it's just, I don't know, one of those art forms that I appreciate. And so anyways, I'm excited to chat just a little bit about this in terms of what clothing and fashion has to do with us up on stage. So first things first, I think the kind of vibe that we're going for up on stage is dressy casual. And I know you guys have heard that term before, like, oh, what's the, attire for this party? Oh, just dressy cash, So what does that mean? Well, I mean, it can mean a lot of things, but basically we want to look nice, right? We don't want to be wearing our sweatpants, which I actually am right now, we also don't want to be rocking a, ball gown or something, but kind of right in the middle. So something that you look nice, you're presenting yourself to everyone well. You look like you tried, to put on one of your better outfits, so not in our pajamas, not necessarily your most casual clothes, but also not super fancy. So that's what I would say, dressy cash. Now, color-wise, I actually am not the expert on this at all. David has done a lot of research. I think there was a bunch of information a while ago when we started filming ourselves about what colors are best to wear on stage. But I think in terms of being filmed, avoid white and micro patterns and that stuff. When we go back to in-person live gatherings, which we are right now, / also being filmed, we just want to avoid maybe super loud patterns and loud colors. Also, we've talked about too, like sayings on your shirt, even if it's like I have a shirt that says Jesus loves you, and true, and appropriate for church, sure, but I'm probably not going to wear that on stage just because people will be reading my shirt instead of, worshiping, which is what they want them to do. It might be distracting. And then let's see, second thing, we want to make sure, and this kind of goes into the dressy casual thing too, but we want to make sure that we're dressing culturally relevant. Now, it's tricky. This is a little bit tricky, but basically we just want to make sure that we are, David has described it as matching our congregation in terms of making them feel welcome and dressing in a way that, is welcoming and that isn't off-putting in any way. So that basically just means that we're fitting the vibe, right? We're not gonna, again, just go to church in our sweatpants, because most people don't do that. I'm sure there's some teenagers in basketball shorts, but that's and then also, again, not to the other extreme. So if we don't see, if people at our church aren't necessarily wearing their fancy church hats and their, poofy skirt ball gowns or anything like that. I personally do love to wear skirts and dresses to church. I grew up doing that, and I think that's totally okay for me to do, but I'm not necessarily going to wear my, my cocktail dress or my fancy ball gown, because I have so many of those. But my, like a super fancy dress would be a little bit like, why is she so dressed up? It looks kind of odd. And again, then people are thinking about that instead of worshiping. So there's that. And then the very last thing, we just want to make sure that you dress like yourself. So with all this being said, you might be like, I just don't really care about clothes. I don't really, you know, care that much about, you know, dressing with the times or whatever, and that's totally fine. We're just asking for you to think about just making sure that we are dressing in a way that we are presenting ourselves well, right? That we are not distracting people with what we're wearing, and just making sure that we're focusing on the music. So we want you to dress like yourself, like your personality, but just see if we can always think about presenting yourself well, and really that's the main part, and making people feel included and welcome and not distracted. I think I just said the same thing about 12 million times, so hopefully you got the point across, and I can't wait to see what you wear next week. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.